Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again. Thanks for checking out the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Gen 6 Glock. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is my Glock 47 Gen 5. I just have it as a prop so I can do something with my hands and point to things that are different. Real quick, I am getting sick. My son has infected me with whatever biohazard weapon he was carrying around. So I'm trying to do this video not only because it's timely, but because I'm probably going to get worse. And so it is what it is. I'm probably going to be coughing a little bit during this video, but I will try to keep it to a minimum. As you can see, very festive here at the Lefty house. So anyway, I obviously have not touched this thing. I've only seen it, and I just want to give my opinions on it because I think it's kind of interesting. I think a lot of people hate to admit it. They may not like Glock, but whatever Glock decides to do, everyone's on top of it. Which is funny because you look at other guns and other handgun manufacturers, they can do something and nobody cares. Even if it's like a really stupid idea, nobody really gives a shit. So jumping off real quick, I actually have some notes down here, which is a first for me. That's crazy, I know. So what we're gonna talk about, the first thing is gonna be the grip. The grip, to me, honestly looks like they took a little bit of the sandpaper grip and put it underneath the pyramid shape texture that the Gen 5s have, which I actually think is a pretty interesting idea because your hand, I don't know if it actually is that, but your hand, it would only stick to your hand once you squeeze into it, right? Having those little pyramids kind of poking up prevents like garments and stuff from sticking, or at least that's the way I hope it kind of works. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Another thing about the grip is supposedly it does have some palm swells right here. It doesn't seem to be very noticeable on camera, so I don't think it's a big thing. It looks more like a subtle thing. For me personally, I'm kind of indifferent on that. I actually really enjoy the perfect rectangular shape of the Glocks, just because the way I shoot, I can get my hand front and back pretty nice on it for my dominant hand, and then the support hand can just crush perpendicular to the frame, you know? So I have this whole area I can just crush together. So to me, I actually like having a perfectly flat side, but we'll see what that kind of does in the future. They also decided to cut up the frame, which I'm not really a big fan. And this is where it seems like the idea team and Glock are like, we got to do something. Everybody's doing this, so let's just do this from the factory. So they decided to do an undercut under the trigger, which is kind of a very popular modification. And they're also doing kind of the speed cuts for your thumb, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. So if you want to run your thumb forward like this, you can put pressure down on the frame. So like I said, it doesn't really affect me that much because the Gen 5 obviously has no finger grooves. On the Gen 3, Gen 4, when you had finger grooves, it was a little bit more of an issue because you had that finger groove kind of pushing your middle finger up into the bottom of that trigger guard. But now that the finger grooves are gone, I don't really see there being a reason for it. But on the older gens, I will admit, I mean, I do see why it was a beneficial modification people were doing, but now I'm not really seeing it. I mean, you still get a little bit of something there, but not like what you did on the older gens. But that's just me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. The speed cuts on the side, and actually I'll talk about the beaver tail real quick. Beaver tail, I don't give a shit. My hands don't ever touch the back of the slide. Like I don't have that issue. I don't know how people do. If they have a really fucked up grip, I suppose. I can't get my hand fucking high enough on it. So I don't know if they just have really fat hands, or maybe it's just the way they grip it. I don't know. But I have no issue with the beaver tail. To me, the beaver tail is kind of a pointless modification. I wish it was still kind of, you know, you could adjust it if you wanted or not with the back strap, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, kind of indifferent about it, but I could do without it for sure. And now let's go to some more controversial things. The thumb ledge cut thing for the speed cuts, and also the guarded slide release on the gun. So this is my personal take, and it's probably gonna piss a little bit of people off, but I don't really care. The speed cuts on the frame for your thumb, completely fucking pointless. People that shoot like this, I mean, I used to shoot like this because I seen it, you know, obviously used to shoot like this and like this, you know, back in the day. So I've kind of adopted different shooting styles and stuff throughout the years. So I have shot like this. And is it better at controlling recoil? I don't think so. In fact, I think it can actually hurt shooting experience in general, just because when you're gripping with your support hand, I like to just grip it and then just don't do anything. I'm not trying to fight recoil. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to keep my hand steady, and the trigger finger can just do whatever it wants to do. For me, what I noticed is, and this kind of translates to ARs to a degree, the more input, especially the more torque I'm trying to do up front, usually what happens is, especially if I flex my hand to kind of absorb recoil when I'm not like trying to go really fast, usually what happens is my thumb will push that front muzzle and it will push it left. Now, granted, if I'm throwing shots right, I can kind of counteract there, but yeah, I don't really like that, and I don't think it's necessary. And then going on into the guarded slide release, again, I understand if you have gigantic fucking hands. To me though, that is not an issue, obviously for me, and I think it's mostly an issue for people that are holding the gun kind of like this. Even when I did this, I never had this issue with Gen 5s or anything like that. People are like, I like Gen 4, Gen 3 because, you know, it was only on one side or whatever. I never had the possibility of cranking up the other one. But for ambi slide controls, I've never had that issue. Again, I think you're just probably gripping the gun wrong. Now, again, if your hands are gigantic, I can see there being possibly an issue, right? But I think you kind of have to adjust your grip to the gun, personally. I mean, the little bit of plastic that they're putting there doesn't seem to be doing all that much anyway. And again, if you're inducing malfunctions by holding the gun, you're doing something wrong, at least in my opinion. Because I actually just went to the range, and this is kind of a, you know, a far out on the spectrum sort of thing of like techniques, but this dude was teaching his girlfriend how to shoot on a Glock 22, I think is what the 22 is, and he was holding it like this. Now, he actually was able to get his thumb underneath the slide like this, so it didn't have any malfunctions from that. But if you're gripping it like this and the gun malfunctions, it's not the problem on the gun, it's your stupid ass grip. So the trigger is new, it's flat. However, it is basically, from what I've seen, it is the same actual internal mechanism. So that's a little disappointing. I wanted to see a little bit more of the Glock competition trigger where it's more of a pre-cocked trigger. So just a little bit nicer of a trigger pull. However, everybody dogs on the Glock triggers. I actually don't think they're that bad. This gun's got about, I don't know, a little over 2,000 rounds on it. And it's like, it's just wall, and then it's just nice. Like, especially, I can just pull that through and it's smooth. So basically, shoot your fucking Glocks and the trigger's nice. I don't know what to say. People might be mad at the fact that there is no FCU. I think that is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. I know people are all about it, like, oh my God, I can change my fucking grips. I don't fucking care. And I think it was actually kind of interesting what Glock decided to do. They basically made 4 guns, I think, with one frame. So they got the 17/47, which is just superior 47. Obviously Glock thinks so. The Glock 19 and the Glock 45, and then you can do a slide swap and make a Glock 49. So kind of neat there. Basically, there's no point at this current juncture to have an FCU because all these frames are the same. They're the same dust cover. They might be a different grip, but basically the same frame. So really, no point, in my opinion. Well, at least very low of a point. But again, on top of that, I think it's just pointless. Like, who buys a gun and like, man, I really want a shorter grip? I don't know fucking anybody that's fucking dicking around with shit like that. Like, yes, have you put the 19 slide on this and made a 45? Yes. It's very fun. I've done the Glock 49 thing. Yes, it's very fun to kind of be able to do that. But to take an entire trigger pack out and put it in a gun, I could care less. I don't think there's much reason for it. Personally, for me, I like having spare guns anyway. So the idea, like, I buy one gun, I'm poor enough to be able to afford a gun, afford some ammo, but then I also want to have different grip lengths. So for me, I'd rather just have the gun, you know, another gun. And the guns are going to be the cheapest part of the hobby, so who cares? Plastic sights. This thing pissed me off a little bit. I don't really care what people think, generally speaking, but this was getting to me a little bit here. It's triggering me a little bit. People were complaining that, again, they have the plastic sights. These people that are commenting on these videos or news posts or whatever the hell that they're commenting on, they're talking about they still have this shitty plastic sights. It's like, yes, who cares? Get a dot. Like, that's what we'll jump into next, I guess. But I mean, the plastic sights are fine. This gun, they work. Like, who gives a shit? They haven't fallen off, and even if they do, I can't see them anyway, so who cares? You should be running a dot, and in my opinion, your dot should totally obscure your irons. Basically, when I look through this thing, where the hell is the dot? There it is. Can't even see the damn thing. When I look through this gun, I can't see my irons, and I don't really care. Like, that's the way it should be. The whole point of a dot is to be able to see a nice clear window. I don't want to see my iron sticking up. My personal opinion, but it's right. All right, guys, phone ran out of storage there, but that's okay. The pictures of my son had to go anyway. So now I have hopefully ample storage to finish this video. And real quick, as I rewatched it to figure out where I was a little bit too harsh on people with kind of the fucked up grips. I would say your grip is not wrong, but it's probably not ideal, and I would never advocate for it. Just wanted to throw that out there, especially the thumb thing. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the thing from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where it's like, the less you do, the more you do. So that's why I just fucking hold the gun and stop messing with shit. Anyway, so going on to the optic mount for the gun. It is new. I'm a little, I don't want to say concerned, but I'm a little wary with the plate system as it is plastic, which is just kind of fucking weird to me. They said it's better than metal, but whatever. I will say that even if the plastic ones are fine, guaranteed metal ones will be coming out for aftermarket support if it's needed. I've also seen things that say basically you don't even need the plastic crush washer, is what they call it, in there at all anyway. So it is what it is. I do agree that I think the system needed an update as the MOS. Personally though, and I only have a data point of 1 here, as my other dot was milled, and it's the 509C where it has kind of more like the aim point mount, which I still sort of prefer maybe. That one doesn't need any screws directly into the slide. It just clamps on like a Picatinny rail. But I haven't had any issues with this. I'm not using the Glock MOS plate. I'm using the whatever came with this Vortex dot came with the MOS plate with it, and I've used it, torqued it to spec, Loctited it, let it sit overnight, and I haven't had any issues. So it is what it is. For this, you know, I understand why they updated, and I'm glad that they updated it, and hopefully it will be better, less failure rates and all that fun stuff. But yeah, kind of the jury is still kind of out on that. Same with the whole gun in general. It's kind of first impressions, obviously. Kind of on the smaller side, and this is what I used to do to my Glocks, and I still do. It's kind of interesting that they decided to do something similar. Basically, they decided to upgrade the mag release. It's not quite like this Tango Down one or the Vickers, whatever it is, where it's a little bit more scalloped and it's a little bit more rounded. It definitely seems like they kind of made it a little bit more, less flat, a little bit more rounded. So like left-handers, you know, they like to keep it like that, can just, a little bit easier to push, a little bit less sharp corners. Don't really care about that, but yeah, bonus, I guess. They added a new extractor as kind of going off from the optic plate. Supposedly, people were using incorrect screws and having issues with the screw putting pressure on the extractor rod, or the rod that pushes on the extractor. Again, never had this issue. It seems like if you use just what came with your gun to spec, it doesn't seem like you would have an issue there, but they've kind of made it more of an external extractor, which we will see. This is, as far as I know, this is original since the first Gen 1. Could be wrong, but yes, that is going to be interesting. This one was weird to me, and the idea of it is just kind of like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So the recoil spring assembly, the RSA, is now the old school Gen 3 single coil. It looks like almost exactly like the Gen 3 recoil spring. It's no longer a dual spring, and they were like, the reason why we did that is because we don't have 40 anymore. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, 40's stupid, but you're making a 9mm with the dual spring. So it's like, well, I'm not really following there. Are you saying you're not going to have 40 in the future or any other caliber? Which honestly, I would be fine with. I think any other caliber for the most part is pretty fucking stupid. But I mean, to me, that just seems kind of weird. It seems like they're using old stock that they have from the Gen 3s and just throwing them in the Gen 6s. And it's going to be interesting to see the rolling changes to the Gen 6 about a year or two after. Because I remember, short story, when the Gen 5s first released, they had that stupid moon cut. in the front of the magwell. And because I hated it so much, I would not get the Gen 5. They did the FBI version of the gun with no cut. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then I bought one. So I'm assuming some of these rolling changes, or just because of like tooling and other processing and stuff like that, we could see some rolling changes where they throw back in the dual spring, but you know, we'll see. Anyway, so now that's pretty much it. Anything else on the gun that I was like, eh. I mean, the gun seems fine. It seems like it's a pretty decent upgrade. It's not a significant like push forward and stuff like that. All right, phone died again because the storage ran up. I'm not sure where it cut off. But anyway, price, I've heard both things. I've heard it's more expensive, and I've also heard it's the same price as the current generation of Glocks, even though the MSRP might be a little bit more. Time will tell. I think the Gen V are kind of fucking pointless at this point. So I think people are just probably going to buy the Gen 6. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think if they go beyond what the current MOS price is, I think that's a little silly goose, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. I made it through this video constantly rearranging shit and deleting photos of my family, so I hope you appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, links down below. Thank you guys for watching.